All right. Here we are.
Here we are, Len.
All right. Go ahead, Sarah.
Ooh, everybody.
Through.
Unity through?
Reparations.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for sticking with us throughout the first day of the 2025 National Convention. I swear these get better and better every year. Right, Chairman? Yeah, right on. Yeah. And this year we added a special event. So thanks all for sticking with us here. But just to sum up the day, wow, what an incredible success today has been with speakers from across the country and comrades from across the country here live and in person, folks tuning in on Zoom. We raised over $20,000 in like an hour in reparations. Not charity, but raising reparations for the African working class. So a huge salute to each and every one of you for helping achieve that. And Len, is there anything you wanted to say before we get started?
Yeah, I really appreciate all of you for, not just coming to another event, but participating in this really important and historic event that is, part of building the future. And, part of this event that we're having tonight, the Culture of Reparations Awards Night, is to celebrate all of you and to celebrate all of the work that we've done together by giving out awards and also just getting to know our comrades a little bit more by them being able to share their secret talents or whatever, So we're going to learn a little more about, some of our comrades tonight, and I'm really excited about that. And to kick us off, I'm going to call up our comrade, Fofi Alkibulan, who is going to read a couple amazing spoken word pieces for us.
Unity through
Reparations!
Do you need something to lean on?
I can. This you want me to which one?
Oh, this one's good.
Okay. Okay, you say a couple?
Or whatever, how much you have, however.
I've got hundreds.
Good day.
Okay. I will start off with climate. Climate. Everything tells on what's going on in this world. Colonialism is the root cause of the world's problem. Revolution is the complete solution to the world. Destruction of nature, natural land, and forest, animals, and humans are being extinct. Greed and destruction is the colonial life. Storms, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, fires, droughts, no food, no fish, no bees, no fruit, no trees. Disease is spread widely. Human life pushed aside. Nothing matters until it affects the colonialists. And sometimes that doesn't matter when they use destruction of their own to prove a point. In my world, there are 4 seasons. Now there's a mixture from one day to another. Temperatures gauge changes from 10 below to 0 to 80 in 24 hours. More Africans suffer from asthma than any other nation of people. Yet, when St. Louis planted trees, they planted male, not female, leaving no female trees to fertilize the male tree's pollen. So it flies free to attack all of our lungs and cause dry tongues. It's falling to the ground on cars, homes, and floating in the air. We sneeze, nose run, ears whistle, eyes water, throat despair. I can't breathe. Colonial attack comes from every corner, nook, and cranny. Don't believe me? Ask your granny. We live in a desert, in in the middle of the city. Life is not cute nor pretty. We can turn this around. Let's free this city today. Together we can change the climate and win. Colonialism is the disease. Revolution is the cure. Uhuru, I'm Fofi Usha Iri, Al Kibila. Now I would like to bring up oldie but goodie, but it was edited for Chairman and DC's birthday in 21. It's called Hey Love. In my attempt to pen you a poem, the words were too heavy for paper and the letters were too fast for ink. My tongue became the pen spitting lovely notes, my sweat the ink spilling from emotional overload. You were stamped into my psyche as I traveled the astral planes. Our freedom met and I breathed you in. You laid at my back, caressing me with your warmth. You settled into my roots, making me strong. We merged liberation to new heights. Our decisions were desires kissed from within, filling my trough with a love force foreign to my meager expectation. Speaking truth into African revolution, heard in divine political education every day, causing future visions to blink my realization several times, crowning my union in a Uhuru chorus, strong melodies singing me to earth again. Trouble, so trouble, I question this epiphany of unconditional love I felt. So I knocked on Aquaba Hall doors for a glimpse of understanding, and I saw you. Your look filled me, chilled me, energized my organizational skills. Words rushed to my head, disturbed my sleep. Too deep did I feel you knew me, for who I really am, a true comrade.
Thank you so much, Fofi. Really appreciate that. Actually, I want to share one really quick little scientific thing that Fofi's poem made me think of. And Comrade James Rauschendorfer, who's here, is a plant scientist, and he told me when we were tabling in the park that the trees, they were planted as female, but some of them, or no, they were planted as male, but some of them actually turned into female trees so that they could actually reproduce, which is really interesting and ruins Trump's whole argument. So,
All right, well, I can't think of a better performer to start this off than Fofi, so thank you again, Fofi. Yes, our very own. And now we'd like to bring up Chairwoman Penny for a two-fisted fighting poem.
All right.
It's been a great day today, and I do just want to start by saying that I am not a poet. And I wrote one poem in my life, and it was this one. And just one day, a long time ago, I just sat down and wrote the whole thing. And I've never had another poem since, but I think it said everything I want to say, I guess. And also, I do want to say that when we first started, when the chairman first formed APSC back in the very early days, Comrade Kitty and some other people taught Kung Fu. And some of us studied Kung Fu then, and so this poem is a little influenced on that. So, two-fisted fighting poem. I wanted to write a poem that comes head-on, like a round from an M16 in a jungle clearing.
Whoa.
A poem that comes head-on, that trains, that spars, that jumps two-footed over obstacles. A street fighting poem.
Whoa.
That works out hard every day and sleeps with one eye open.
Yeah.
I wanted to write a poem that builds in the blocks for 14 years until the earth is on fire, scorched with the hearts and the minds of the people burning with freedom. I wanted to write a poem that makes you hate imperialism, that makes you hate this blood-drenched system, makes you hate colonialism, makes you love the people's light on their feet, like lightweight fighters, and always on target. Sharp, deadly blows to the beast, who will soon be extinct. I wanted to write a poem to the daughters and sons of Africa, who embody the fighting spirit that knows no compromise, for they are the whirlwind in Africa and in the US, the fresh, strong wind of the future, their own liberators and ours. I wanted to tell you in a poem that inside the belly of the beast, in the streets, the cities, the countryside, the drums go on all night, always in resistance. It is the eve of the great war, but not yet the hour. For today is the time of building and training and working. African people in Georgia and Oakland, in Louisville, Kentucky, Native, Chicano, Puerto Rican people, the drums beat steady all night, always in resistance. It is the eve of the great and joyful war, but today is the time for building, for setting the hearts and minds of their people on fire for freedom. Meanwhile, in Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Namibia, Guinea, Angola, Mozambique, Chad, Iran, Lebanon, Palestine, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, the Caribbean, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, the Philippines, Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam, the dance of the fighters light on their feet, the beast could never withstand such sharp, deadly blows. North American women, I wanted to write a poem to you. Listen, begin your training, learn to fight like hell, for now is the time of building. Take a stand on the front lines of history, solidarity with African people. Take your stance and train with your feet, with your fists, your teeth, your blood, your body, your heart, your will of iron, your hatred of imperialism, your love for the world's peoples. I wanted to write a poem that comes head on, a two-fisted fighting poem that makes you hate imperialism and love the victories of the peoples of the world.
Not a poet. Because I just heard an amazing poem.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Jerome. I mean, really appreciate that. So earlier this year, we lost a really special comrade named Mark Coy. Yes. And for over 33 years, this comrade was a huge part of Uhuru Furniture in the Oakland area, giving so much of his life to the liberation of African and oppressed peoples. And we want to give him a tribute today. And so here to give Comrade Mark Coy a tribute is Comrade Stephanie Midler. Oh, and also Janine. Sarah, I just want to wheel this over a little bit, I think, so just get this out of the way. 1 second here. Oh, this whole thing comes off. Oops.
We can just hold it.
Okay, well, I'll just bring this over a little bit. For the future. Okay. All right.
All right, Uhuru. Well, we want to take a moment, as Comrade Led said, during tonight's program to recognize Comrade Mark Coy, who had an intrepid stance in solidarity with the liberation of African and all oppressed peoples for over 30 years. This comrade passed away, I'm not going to get through this. All right, this comrade passed away on January 27th, 2025 at 63 years old, and is survived by his wife, daughters, grandchildren, and siblings. Oops, there we go.
Uhuru. Mark dedicated more than 33 years of his life to building Uhuru Furniture and Collectibles in Oakland. Joining the team almost from the very beginning, he was part of developing the systems, policies, volunteers, and staff. For many years, he was the lead salesperson and exemplified the stance of APDF that deeply appreciates the customer. This is what Uhuru Furniture became known for, and this was no small part due to Mark's stance every day. Looking at these pictures, you might know.
You might not know.
You might not know the smiling and welcoming face every customer received from him when they walked in. He really did not like getting his picture taken. But he would greet every customer by name and remember what furniture they were looking for, everything they talked about on their last visit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Mark was a gentle, caring, and deeply empathetic person. He built strong relationships with many of our Uhuru Furniture shoppers. Even after transitioning to off-site work due to COVID in 2020 and continuing beyond the store's closure, he remained connected to the community, embodying the spirit of service and solidarity until his final day. He was always gracious, patient, and respectful, a steadfast supporter of the Uhuru movement. And his family pointed out at his memorial, he was also a man of many interests, including microbiology, chemistry, physics, music, nature, cooking, poetry, reading, love, people, their stories, and so much more.
Being the humble person that he was, many may not know that he received his PhD in microbiology at UC Berkeley. Wow. He was a remarkable teacher to those he tutored and to those he trained at Uhuru Furniture. He was truly brilliant with an ever-inquisitive mind and no doubt an amazing scientist, but he could not bear the politics behind getting research funding, and he carried out his scientific research after he got his PhD without getting paid.
This is just one example of how incredibly principled this comrade was. He also lived very simply and humbly and joined the solidarity work, originally actually with the Uhuru Foods and Pies.
He also took a stand in many marches against genocide in the early 90s.
He always said that he held Chairman Amalia Shatella and Deputy Chair Ona Zanaya Shatella in the highest esteem for the principled stance they took in the world. And similarly, Mark held firm to his beliefs despite really intense pressure that he received from his family to get money for his PhD that he got. You know, he really battled against that.
Mark's identity as American Indian and Basque was important to him, and he always thoughtfully connected with other people, finding out how they understood their own identity, whether it was ethnicity, religion, profession, connecting it back to the support for APDF.
These next few pictures are some of our favorite pictures of Mark. Here you can tell how happy he is to be talking to this longtime Uhuru Furniture customer, donor, and supporter, Ben Lang. This is Mark at his finest, engaging with people one-on-one.
And here on the bottom left, the caring expression on his face as he talks with Deputy Chair. One of the few people who could get him to agree to his picture taken.
Yeah. And this picture, where he is presenting a gift to Chairman at the 30th anniversary celebration of Uhuru Furniture.
You can see in his face how much that meant to him. So I worked with Mark's sister, Annette, to hold a memorial at Aquaba Hall in Oakland, hosted by APDF. The memorial had a great turnout on Zoom as well as in person, with people sharing their memories of Mark. It was moving. It's contagious. It was moving to hear how similar everyone's memories were.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring this tribute to USM convention to salute Mark's enduring stance in solidarity with the work of APDF and the party. We referred to him as APDF cadre because he was there through thick and thin,
day after day, year after year, no matter what.
And expressed his solidarity through practice more than he may have ever done through words.
Yeah. At the memorial, both Chairman and Deputy Chair were present, and Chairman said that Mark, that he was a person that was easy to love. And Deputy Chair said, Mark was not only a dedicated comrade, but a beloved friend. His presence will be deeply missed, but his legacy of unwavering support and love for the Uhuru movement will live on.
beautiful tribute to Comrade Mark. And on that note, I think we would like to kick off the awards. So this first award goes to a network of supporters who have been able to hold amazing yard sales year after year. DC knows. Raising reparations and awareness for the Black Power Blueprint. So these comrades have created an annual community tradition that folks in Minneapolis look forward to every year.
Yeah, this is the Creative Organizer Award that's going to USM Minneapolis. And these are for the comrades who use innovation, strategy, and creativity to advance the movement. Their visionary organizing strengthens the struggle and inspires collective action. And I think I named all the people in there.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Yeah, so this would be for, let's see, Gina, Betty, Kim, Liz, Sarah, Comrade Lisa, Dan Tans, Eli and Rosie, those are Lisa's kids, Stephanie Watson, that's Lisa's sister, and Lisa's parents, and the numerous others who have helped out on the Minneapolis yard sale the past 3 years. And I wanted you, Lisa, to accept the award on behalf of USM Minneapolis, since you have it at your house all the time. All right, thank you. So we would also like to present the creative. Oh, sorry, I already just read that. This next award was a tie between two amazing comrades who exude positivity with relentless smiles, joy, and everlasting enthusiasm for African internationalism and African self-determination. This first comrade we met in 2020 at the March for Reparations in Minneapolis, at which point she jumped right into the work and has never looked back, and her enthusiasm has carried her to the USM National Steering Committee, where she is the NTU volunteer coordinator, and we salute her for all of her contributions. Comrade Sarah Ritter.
And if you're wondering, I did get home. Just kidding, I didn't.
You deserve it.
Speech. No, y'all appropriate enough, I'm sure. But this was a tie between myself and one other comrade who wasn't able to be here with us today. So the next Revolutionary Positivity Award goes to another USM NSC, a member who has been knee-deep in the work of building solidarity with Black Power for longer than I have, much longer than I have. And this comrade's stance of solidarity is exemplary and infectious, and transcends through the computer screen as a social media coordinator. So Comrade Virginia Wilson.
We'll send this to you, Virginia. I'll give you an award. All right, and so we now want to call up, we're going to have another performer, as we do in this performance evening, and we want to call up our next performer, Wendy Snyder, who is going to grace us with some flute and spoken word. Okay, you can just put it there, probably, right?
Like this? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not this mic though, right?
Oh no, it's this
It's
one.
not that,
But we can move this around if you need.
yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, got it.
All right, Uhuru. So it's actually been revised a little bit. It's a Uhuru flute medley with some commentary.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm gonna do some snippets of 4 different Uhuru songs that I've learned from the Uhuru movement. And let me move this closer so I can see. This first one is a song that I'm looking for the recording of, so maybe someone can help me with that after you know what song it is. I believe it's called Freedom, or What Does It Mean to Be Free? Yes. It was sung by Carolyn Lake, who you saw earlier from Deputy Chair Ona's presentation. She is the wife of Richard Mufundi Lake, who was in the African National Prison Organization. And when I heard this song, when I heard her sing this song, I just melted. So here's just a little tiny snippet of the song. I just need to warm up. Okay, let's do it. Okay, this next little snippet, actually these next two songs I learned in St. Pete at the Uhuru House around the time of the Battle of St. Pete. And they both have Uhuru movement words to them that differ from their original song lyrics. So I think I'll play the first one, and then maybe some of you who know the correct Uhuru lyrics can help sing it. That was this little backwards town, we're gonna turn it around. This little backwards town, we're gonna turn it around. This little backwards town, and we're gonna turn it around, turn it around, turn it around, upside down. Thank you. Okay, so the third one, actually the second one that I learned in St. Pete, you'll recognize too. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom, and then at the end you say uhuru. Okay, I know everybody's gonna know this song. Okay.
Reparations.
Sure. Sorry.
Guru, I really appreciated, that was beautiful, Wendy. That was so nice. And I was just thinking, because I really appreciated and was very moved by the tribute to Mark Hoy. And I thought about the fact that
Aw.
this book has the handwriting of Deidre Martin with her name in it, who is another fallen comrade.
Yes,
And,
and a poet.
and a poet, and just an amazing, amazing comrade. And that, I know she was a good friend of yours, you grew up together.
Yes.
And of course, I knew her as part of the Uhuru movement and the Solidarity movement for many years. And, she found out that she had a terminal illness. And I saw her at somewhere,
It was,
Black is Back or
no,
something?
she actually came here in July of 2022.
Right, okay.
And toured, I think right after the Freedom
The
Summer
raids,
Project.
yeah.
And right before the raids.
I
And
know
then-
what it
yeah,
was. At
yeah.
Black is Back is what was it?
In
Anyway,
Washington DC. I think
yeah,
was
and when I got
yeah,
the call
yeah,
that she had passed away, but and she was only, 40,
She was
50,
57.
57. She had two great children, and just that the day before she passed away, she called me to say that, because she was in a committee that I was in, and that she called me to say that the leaflet that she was going to make is done, and she wanted me to know that, and that she got it done, and we talked a little bit, and then I know she called you.
Yeah. Yeah,
also.
she called me. So one other thing I wanted to say is, so she got diagnosed in August of 2021, and all that year we tuned in together to different programs. After the raids, she came out here, toured the Black Power Blueprint, and she jumped in. She joined 2 committees.
Yeah, she
And
did. She joined.
She really, dedicated her last months to, and she called me saying, "Oh, I'm going to hospice, like goodbye." Like what? And none of us really believed that she was going to go so soon, because she was convinced she was going to stay through her son Liam's graduation. But she's like, make sure you get those Uhuru Pies posters on the kitchen. I don't want my mom throwing them away.
That was
that was her.
Yes.
Yeah, that was her.
And then I guess she had a natural burial and a biodegradable thing, and she is somewhere with.
Yeah,
the earth
she's
now.
over near Half Moon Bay. Yeah, in a beautiful spot.
So yeah, she was our comrade.
Yeah.
And
Thank
miss
you,
her.
Fanny.
Uhuru.
Long live. Brew. Thank you for that, Jerome Petty. And Wendy, that was so great. Okay.
Yeah, super fun to hear those songs, Wendy. Thank you. So now, time for some more awards. This next award is, again, a tie between 2 outstanding comrades who do not skip a beat when it comes to outreach. These 2 comrades are at every rally, every protest, are on outreach tables, and on the phones tirelessly working to bring new comrades into organization. Their dedication to spreading the message of solidarity and reparations has truly strengthened the ranks of the revolution. So it is my honor to salute and present the next award for Outstanding Outreacher Awards to Andy Gaither and Rafael Sauzasomo.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay, so are you all ready to perform? I know you're probably really confused, but we now have a group sing-along that you're going to be a part of. I don't know if you knew that, but now you know. And this is going to be led by the USM Western Region, and this is the Ballad of Ho Chi Minh by Ewan McCall. So let's call up the USM Western Region to lead this. Uhuru. Yeah.
All right, we're
Woo!
here. Yeah, oh, yeah. And Wendy.
And the microphone, I don't know if you see that, but.
Wendy, remember the Red Star Singers?
I do.
Does everyone have the yellow star?
Okay.
Right over here, the mic.
Okay, this is the Ballad of Ho Chi Minh. We're coming up to 50 years of after the Vietnamese won the war. We have these fantastic shirts that Kara brought us back from Vietnam. And the first time I heard the song was in the People's Food System, San Francisco, California, somewhere around 1977. You all have the lyrics, plus there's some Wikipedia history on the back for all the people who are younger than I am. And there's really only one kind of catchy move in it, and I underlined it. In the fifth line, where it says, lives a man, that's one beat each, but then you have to catch up to the rest of the line. So we'll start, and then you'll catch up. Okay? No. Far away across the ocean, far beyond the sea's eastern rim, lives a man who's the father of the Indo-Chinese people, and his name it is Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. From Viet Bac to the Saigon Delta, from the mountains and the plains below, young and old, workers, peasants, and the toiling tenant farmers fight for freedom with Uncle Ho. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Now Ho Chi Minh was a deep-sea sailor. He served his time out on the seven seas. Work and hardship were part of his early education. Exploitation, his ABC. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Now Ho Chi Minh came back from sailing, and he looked out on his native land, saw the want and the hunger of the Indo-Chinese people, foreign soldiers on every hand. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Now Ho Chi Minh went to the mountains, and he trained a determined band. Heroes all who had sworn to free the Indo-Chinese people, drive invaders from the land. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Every soldier is a farmer. Comes the evening, he grabs his hoe. Comes the morning, he swings his rifle on his shoulder. This the army of Uncle Ho. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. From the mountains and the jungles, from the rice lands and the plain of reeds, marched the men and the women of the Indo-Chinese army, planting freedom with victory seeds. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. From Viet Bac to the Saigon Delta, marched the armies of Viet Minh, and the wind stirs the banners of the Indo-Chinese people, peace and freedom, and Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, do you want to say something a little bit about it? Yeah.
Yeah, I had the honor of going to Vietnam last summer, and it was amazing. I had always wanted to visit it and just understand more about the Vietnam War from what I obviously didn't learn in school and what I've learned from the party, you know, and just the amazing strength and honor of the Vietnamese people. They have so much pride. Just went to the, I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it, but went to the area where, out of Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon, where they hid and built the tunnels where the Viet Cong lived and basically defeated the Americans who were dropping bombs like crazy. It was such a moving experience, and I just really appreciate that. I went there, I really got to learn so much more and got to see it obviously from the perspective of the Vietnamese people. And just the Ho Chi Minh was everywhere. And the people were so happy, and it was just, there was like no homelessness. People were happy. I mean, they were poor, but everyone was fed, housed, and clothed. So it's just what's working there. It's working there. It's communist, and it's working. And yeah, I really was very proud that I was able to go there. Uhuru.
I'd just like to say a couple of things about the Vietnamese struggle. Because for a time, the Vietnamese carried the colonized peoples of the world on their shoulders. It was an extraordinary, fierce revolutionary movement. And the world learned so much from the Vietnamese. And sometimes when we look at Gaza, and they talk about tunnels. Believe me, it was the Vietnamese who influenced that. They learned from Vietnam. In Vietnam, they had built tunnels and they had gone underground. They had put hospitals underground. They had put theaters underground. They had all kinds of things that had developed underground. The Vietnamese, I remember this quote and it reminded me so much of Malcolm X, who said the white man can never win another war on the ground. And that he said, and I watched this documentary, and they quoted this comrade from Vietnam, who was saying that the Americans were really powerful from a distance, that they could send missiles everywhere, and they could drop bombs from thousands of feet in the sky, but that they were slow and clumsy. So in order to fight the Americans, you had to grab them by the belt.
Yeah.
I like that, grab them by the belt. And in many ways, that's what we do. When we talk about fighting them around anti-colonial free speech, we go to their course, we go to their things, we get right up under them in terms of under their punches, if you will, so to speak. And we were just so proud of the Vietnamese, and we still are. And I remember Ho Chi Minh, by the way, attended Garvey meetings. Did you know that? He actually attended Garvey meetings in New York City. And the FBI wrote about Garvey's meetings and how people from all around the world came and they reported to Garvey, Marcus Garvey, who led a movement of millions strong. And so I just think it's worth noting that. And Ho Chi Minh he wrote about lynching of African people in this country. You can find that. And I talked to Comrade Robert Williams, who in Monroe, North Carolina, 1957, I think it was, had to fight the Ku Klux Klan, and he was chased into exile. And one of the places he ended up was in Vietnam. And he talked about how, I don't remember if he said it was Uncle Ho or someone else who had said to him, asked him that, why don't you go home? Talking about to Africa. And how he understand that we were colonized people. And it was an extraordinary movement of colonized people, and the Vietnamese have always been a part of it. It's not over yet for Vietnam. Because a critical contradiction that stems from the Marxist movement was the inability to recognize what Marx defined as primitive accumulation in terms of the actual creation of the capitalist system as a mode of production. That's the colonial mode of production. That's what when Marx said something to the effect that you got to ask how this thing got started. And he talked about the rose at dawn. The rose at dawn, what did he say? Something of the rise of capitalism. He said it was turning Africa into a warren for the commercial hunting of black skins. It was brutality that was being imposed on the people in East India. It was in turn the so-called indigenous people in the Americas into the mines, bringing up gold and silver. This was the starting point. He said this has the same impact in political economy as original sin in theology. This is where it started. This was primitive accumulation. This was actually a colonial mode of production. And so the Marxists missed that, because the presumption was if you can overthrow this capitalism where they were, then you would have socialism. But you don't have socialism, because socialism is not a local phenomenon. That is, capitalism is not a local phenomenon. The whole colonial system is what had to be assaulted. And at one time, the Marxists kind of understood some things about that. That's why the Chinese fought for the Chinese Revolution to liberate everybody at one time. And one time they were able to see that, but they lost sight of that. And so it's up to us, to finish what Uncle Ho was doing. And I've met people from Vietnam at different times. You were with me, Comrade Penny. I spoke somewhere, I think in Southern California. And
they said they wanted you to come to Vietnam.
Come to Vietnam. So we need you in Vietnam. That was really extraordinary. But anyway, comrades, I just wanted to make those statements because the Vietnamese were just remarkable, just heroic population. And what Uncle Ho did, Ho Chi Minh, this brother who was a school teacher, he got him and told him to go and build the army to fight against the French. His name was Nguyen Nguyen Gia, the greatest military, his extraordinary force. And he's the one who organized the army. They started off with a pistol or a couple of other things. People always say, well, you can't fight them because they got all the guns. Yeah, that's where you get them from. Anyway, that's another story.
So,
you should read the book called The Tunnels of Coochie, and it's about the tunnels that they looked at. It was amazing, amazing story.
Thank you. So yeah, for this next award, I want to call up Chair Jesse to give this award.
Uhuru. Thank you, Chairman, Chairwoman Penny, and Len and Sarah, and all of our comrades. Let's give a round of applause for all the great voices. So I'm just going to be presenting an award, and I'm really, really honored and excited to do that. And this award is called the Voice of Resistance Award.
Wow.
And this goes to a comrade that we met very shortly after the FBI raids in July 29th of 2022. There was a conference held by the Center for Political Innovation in Chicago.
Yeah.
Len and several other comrades went out to that conference where we met this person that I'm about to present this award to. The mystery is growing. And from that day forward, this comrade was, he was, as like Penny's poem, two-fisted in the fight for anti-colonial free speech. Every opportunity there was, to say the Uhuru 3, drop the charges on the Uhuru 3, you need to be talking about this case, he was there.
Right.
Julian Assange's brother and father came to Chicago, he was there.
Right.
Any politician that was holding forums or anything online that was going on in the chat, it was flooded with comments from this comrade talking about the Uhuru 3. He's been to St. Louis many times, marched for reparations with us, been to our convention now year after year since then. We love this comrade.
Yes,
He is incredibly witty, incredibly bold, and incredibly principled. And we present the Voice of Resistance Award to John McCarthy.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to say something tomorrow, so maybe I should save. But thank you for this, and thank you for giving me something to fight for. Yeah, it's been an honor to fight for you, because you're fighting for everybody.
Moving right along. So, as an organization of organizers, comrades and leaders in USM know the importance of bringing others into active political work. So this next comrade, who we all know by now, besides being an exemplary African internationalist committed to overturning colonialism by any means necessary for the last couple decades, and a wonderful friend and comrade, to me personally, and so many of us in this room, he has been a powerhouse recruiter this last year. So even bringing comrades from Florida with him to this convention, this Reparations Through Organization Award goes to Jamie Simpson.
Just, wow, I'm profoundly honored to be here. I have so much revolutionary love for everyone in this room. Thank you so much.
All right, so has everybody been enjoying this evening so far? Okay, good. So this really has been a thrilling celebration, and we are now going to go to a short commercial featuring Comrade Ruby.
Ruby's the comedian extraordinaire.
Hold on. I do.
Okay. Oh, Ho Chi Minh chair, sorry.
Oh, okay. Here's one right there. Great.
John, pull that one up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
All right.
Hello, and ouch. Do you suffer from that itchy, burning pain of hemorrhoids that makes it hard to sit down, which is the main thing that you do all day, every day? I do. Can't tell if you can't sleep, or if you just can't sleep, or you just can't wake up? Having trouble hearing because of the deafening chatter going on in your brain? Unable to communicate or empathize with others? Uncontrolled sobbing when you come to terms with the reality of life? It's not just Trump, it's the whole damn U.S. system. Do you have serious nagging questions like, how are America's endless wars, police murders of black people, and genocide against the Palestinians considered normal? I have. If you answered yes to any one of these questions, you may need Preparation H. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I need something stronger than an often ridiculed over-the-counter hemorrhoid medication to deal with my personal crisis about the world's problems. But wait, Preparation H has been upcycled, repackaged, and supersized for the more all-encompassing needs of the 21st century white audience, or as we are now legally known as the audience. Yes, introducing, and this part is a little bit of a stretch, so just let me know if this works or not. Whoops. Pay reparations H. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Pay reparations H is not a drug or chemical. It is a scientifically proven all-natural process that has helped white people in 130 cities change our relationship to humanity. Now, when you gently massage Pay Reparations H into your problem areas, it boldly opens your eyes and ears, helps you understand what is really going on in the world, and make a decision to flush that unity with the colonial status quo down the toilet of history by paying reparations to the black community. As you probably are already thinking, the H in Pay Reparations H is no longer just stands for hemorrhoids, right? Right. And now, since I no longer have hemorrhoids, I'm actually wearing a prosthetic hemorrhoid so I can give credibility to what I'm saying. And yes, H stands for hear what the chairman is saying, righting a historic wrong, which has 2 H's in it, and paying back what we owe for the crimes against colonized people that we continue to benefit from today. And there's an H in that one somewhere as well. Maximum strength, Pay Reparations H is available, and this is really true, in ointment, spray, or handy wipes. In all sizes, from the tiny travel tube to the family-sized 55-gallon drum. And now for the really fast part. Side effects include the ability to get over yourself and support the black food, health, housing, political, and economic self-determination, the African Revolution, the only guaranteed way to keep the capitalist system from destroying all life on the planet, and create a positive future under the leadership of the growing movement for power and self-government, led by the African working class. Tell your doctor about Pay Reparation H. He needs it as much as you and I
Okay, I'm not exaggerating when I told someone earlier today when I grow up I want to be like Ruby. Like, never has that been more true. That was fantastic, Ruby. Thank you for that commercial. All right. So, moving right along. This next award is again a tie between 2 comrades. So the first comrade is a dedicated volunteer with the Uhuru Pies and has been since October 2024. As a new USM member, he enthusiastically began staffing the Uhuru Pies booth at St. Pete Saturday Market and has jumped right in and quickly learned how to promote Uhuru Pies and the Uhuru movement to potential customers. He is creative and serious in his approach and has now trained on all operations to be a market day coordinator. This comrade also participates in USM outreach tables and studies. He has expressed a desire to increase his revolutionary confidence through study and practice. So this Reparations in Action award goes to Blaze Mara.
I'm surprised because there are people in St. Petersburg who do a lot more than I do. Shout out to Jamie. I lean on him a lot. I watch him as I follow him doing outreach. want to be more like him, and I hope to be.
Right on.
So I guess what I'm saying is this is for Jamie.
All right, and this next comrade brought tremendous enthusiasm to the Uhuru Holiday Pie campaign in St. Louis this past November. And she volunteered to bake on several occasions and even brought her daughter to bake with her. And she's been such a positive addition to all of the work, winning people to the Black Power Blueprint and our role to bring reparations in unity with African self-determination. This comrade also took on confronting Mayor Tishaura Jones here in St. Louis and boldly challenged her on her stand of blocking the economic development in North St. Louis and refusing to take a stand in support of the Uhuru Bakery and to secure this building permit that we need. And as a USM member, this comrade jumps in whenever outreach is necessary and needed, and does what she can to forward the message of the chairman and white solidarity with Black Power. So this Reparations in Action Award goes to Comrade Jan Wan.
Thank you.
So we're gonna skip this, but let's do this.
Okay. So we now want to recognize this comrade for her unwavering commitment to the genuine anti-colonial struggle and for advancing African self-determination through principled action and material solidarity. This comrade's stance is truly exceptional, and we deeply appreciate her, not only in Minneapolis, but across the country. So this very, very deserving award for solidarity, not charity, goes to Leah Fifield.
All right, and we don't have this comrade here tonight, but we really want to appreciate Comrade Anya Fisher for her stance of reparations and material solidarity with African self-determination, and her commitment to forwarding the anti-colonial struggle is really creative. She's an awesome artist. She does like trapeze and stuff, and she held an amazing event last year called Moving for the Movement, and it had like fire breathers and tight rope walkers and stuff. It was really, really cool, and it raised funds for the Black Power Blueprint. So we also want to present the Solidarity Not Charity Award to Comrade Anya Fisher. All right. So this next award is a four-way tie. I know that sounds wild, but is that what we're up to? Oh, oops, sorry. Just kidding. That's a little sneak peek of what's to come. So we're actually gonna do a performance now, right? Okay, I'm on the right page. And so we want to call up our next musician, Comrade Indigo, who's gonna be on the keys.
Can you help me with stand for the mic?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I have to set this up real quick, but I just want to say utmost appreciation for today. It's been so profound. Sorry.
Keep talking, I'll adjust it.
I want to briefly mention a couple points that I'm just super grateful for that were brought up today. These are from our leadership, Chairman Wale Shatella. Firstly, how much is owed? And the answer was reparations. with compounded interest. And I want to say that the truth is this will be the greatest wealth transfer in history.
Yeah.
In this last one, I also heard from, I also heard last year, and it really struck me, is that white solidarity with Black power is solidarity with yourself.
Yeah.
And I just think that's, I'm really grateful for that. I appreciate that just consciousness. Yeah, so. Okay, so this will be dedicated to the movement organizing for anti-colonial state power for the African working class.
Wow.
to go. Don't go too far. What? Wall, you're up here. First of all, thank you for that performance. Outstanding. So while you're up here, we do want to take a moment and salute you for your stance in solidarity with African self-determination. And I think I remember someone saying earlier in the day that Comrade Indigo has only been with the movement for a year. Today. Yeah. And it is so impressive to know what he and Comrade Dylan have achieved over the last 365 days. But we want to salute you for your stance in solidarity with African self-determination and commend you for your work in the Hands Off Uhuru media work, for your outreach efforts in Columbus, Ohio, for your phenomenal job in winning 15 endorsers for the 2025 USM National Convention in like 3 weeks. Yeah. And for taking the next step in joining the APSC, African People's Solidarity Committee. Spirit African internationalism into practice. So we are honored to present to you the Theory and Practice Award.
Real quick, I don't have too much to say, but I do have to give credit to all of my leadership. I learned so much because of everyone here, because of all that you've been providing and working for this for so long. Looking forward to bringing it on, and continuing the work. We got a lot of people to reach, and I'm confident that we're going to do that. We're doing that, and we are winning.
So, and of course, we couldn't just have one of these awards. We have to have like at least one other, more than one. We also want to present the Theory and Practice Award to this comrade who has grown so much since joining the Uhuru Solidarity Movement a year ago, this convention weekend. And this comrade was presented with a task to create a flyer, and now he leads the entire Info Ed committee on the USM National Steering Committee. So this comrade is putting theory to practice, leading a committee, using his skills for the revolution, and working with Comrade Indigo to build Columbus, and has taken the steps of joining the African People's Solidarity Committee. Salute to Comrade Dylan.
Awesome. All right. So our next guest is a member of USM, a supporter of African self-determination, and a published local St. Louis author. Here to read a few pages from her book, I don't speak French. Just to Live? What?
Yeah, you got it.
Perfect. Just to Live. Angelica.
Okay, Uhuru, everyone. The Reparation age remedy would definitely be needed after what I'm going to read. And I just want to give a short introduction because I used to work and volunteer and work up here on College Hill 51 years ago. And at that time it was 85% African, some white, older white folks still hanging around. But what do I want to say? Okay, it was still a livable, viable community at the time. So, eventually I got to know my then boyfriend, and came back, I'm making it short, came back almost 25 years later, and found, the neighborhood really destroyed by the Team 4 plan. And this is where I'm going to start, because I want to read the opening chapter of the book. So, this is the book. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's up there. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so the chapter is called Lost Thread. Not until autumn 1997, on a detour to Boston, did I make the first attempt to recover my long-lost lover's track. As I cut through blocks and blocks of urban decay, my heartbeat accelerated the closer I got to my destination. By the time I turned left into North Market Street, coming from 20th Street, my pulse hammered so violently it constricted my throat. What would I do if? The red brick fourplex on my right, where Cheyenne used to rent on the first floor, and the adjacent ruin stared at me with a forlorn expression. I slowly drove past, holding my breath. Something felt missing. Close to the Catholic Church, I turned past the fenced-in, deserted car repair shop, then a stretch of unruly fellow land where I vaguely recalled a string of brick houses back in the day and lots of people. I struggled to gather my whirling thoughts. There was no if. Nothing left but a lone tree that stretched defiant branches towards the pale sky, withering leaves scattered on the weedy lot, a lot squeezed between a gray, crumbling, smokestack factory and that boarded-up building where we all once walked in and out. I parked the car pretty much at the spot where Robert and I had that make-or-break argument in front of a house no longer there. Was it safe to leave my rental at the curb? Across the street, a wiry, dark-skinned man stepped out of the corner house, briefly glanced in my direction, then just stood there, arms folded over his chest, the only person who'd know what happened. The next sign of life, a row of houses with steep wooden back stairs to the second floor, loomed 1 block away. A woman trudged through high grass coming from the alley. She hollered and waved to him. I hid my purse, locked the car, and crossed the abandoned street. My greeting prompted glances of disbelief in those dark faces, hers black as night, as its beauty sadly compromised by missing scissors as she gave me a reserved smile. His markedly lined, the creased forehead, an unspoken inquiry when I asked about the family who used to live in the vanished house. The man's gaze veered toward the vacant lot and he scowled. As I handed him the photo, his eyes wandered from the glossy image of a 3-story brick house, its front painted white, to me, to my shiny rental, and back to me, then to the picture. He seemed to hold his breath. The woman stepped closer to peer over his shoulder. That, she looked at the man, then at me, wide-eyed. Yeah, that my old Jimmy Lee house. Yeah, this is my old neighbor Jimmy Lee house. Both stared at me, if somewhat guarded. I told them I took the shot back in the day. What happened? Them all gone. You know where? Jimmy Lee? He long dead. The man turned to the woman. What year he passed? Early 90s? She shook her head. Hank, that must have been late 80s or something. The house burned down in 92. Do you know where his family moved? The man shrugged. Out of town's all I knows. Now I had to lay it on the line. What about Robert? Robert? He used to be my boyfriend. Robert? Her black eyes gave off a spark that instantly vanished. The man's forehead creased into even deeper furrows as he scrutinized me. He raised an eyebrow. He's still around. Slowly shaking his head, he stared at his feet. But he don't care for nothing no more. I did not follow North Market Street westward, where Hank said Robert had gone only 5 minutes earlier. I crept south on 20th Street, across Cass Avenue, then past a baseball field bordered by a wilderness that vaguely felt like the site of former Pruitt-Igoe, past a church and newly built housing until I hit the corner of Carr Street. There, a group of men sat on a low stone ledge in the shade of a tree, chatting or sipping what they had in their brown bags. Men Robert's age. For another glimpse at the dark, weathered faces, I even rounded the spot a second time. I drove on in a daze, seeing and not seeing. and I do want to read a little more.
Sorry, it's it.
Uh-huh.
How much longer do you think?
Just 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. Finding my old hood in shambles after a hiatus of 23 years was a shock. I had anticipated the decline, but wasn't prepared for any of that. The first thing that struck me, coming from North County, was a peddler at the intersection of a main thoroughfare. I recall wondering how anyone could possibly survive on such a hustle, reminiscent of African conditions in the chokehold of World Bank and International Monetary Fund. Cruising the north side in my rental, it felt so familiar and different all the same. The red brick buildings resembled a cast-off Hollywood scene. The facade still standing, but all life was gone. There were so many boarded up houses it took my breath. Crumbling structures, windows resembling lifeless eyes. At times the wind moved the discolored curtain. Plywood smothering desperate cries. A cockeyed alcove, busted panes, a balcony rotting. No trespassing signs on just about every door. A man sat next to his washing machines in front of a store. A corner pub, here and there a remnant of long gone glory. People stepping in or out of a liquor store. So many shops decaying and barred. Ruin after ruin after ruin, many of them charred. Even the unkept fallow land told a story.
Thank you, Angelica. This next group of comrades truly embodies revolutionary leadership, and they have taken a serious initiative in outreach this year, in fundraising, political education, and are collectively an exemplary committee. And this collective leadership award that we have here goes to the USM Western Region. That would be Wendy, Redbeard, Kara, Janet, Peter, Mads, and Sandy. Come on up to get your award. And Blaze, yes, Blaze Bailey, Blaze, come on up. Yes, please. You're part of the Western Region. And Janine. Yes, all of you, come on up. And Jacoya. Sorry, comrades.
Well, if we can do this in a year, well, some of you have been around longer than me, but if we can build, this much in a year, look, we're not going to be able to fit on the stage.
Let's give a shout out to Wendy Snyder. This couldn't happen.
Well, in that same vein, this next group of comrades plays a key role in the USM national work, leading the ongoing marches for reparations, the USM telethon, and is also leading a powerful campaign to build white solidarity with Black power in the headquarters of the Uhuru movement, USM St. Louis. I'd like to call up all members present here today: Jesse, Amanda, Len, Brendan, Hallie, Jan, James, Andy, Raphael, Lauren, Casey, come on up.
Chairwoman Penny, Maureen,
Stephanie, Esty
Ruby, Maureen, Angelica. Is Brendan up here too? Okay, good. And I'm giving this one to Comrade Len, who led so much of the work here, and to Comrade Brendan, who recently became the chair of USM St. Louis. He's on security, so he can't say anything. Glenn.
Yeah. Oh, I don't really have to say anything, but I mean, oh, Brendan's up here. He can talk now.
Uhuru.
Chorus.
And I absolutely wouldn't be where, have the understanding I have, be able to do any of this work without, my leadership and, everybody up here on the stage that I've had, to learn from, look up to the past couple of years. So they're all absolutely incredible, fantastic workers, and, just incredible comrades. Uhuru.
Okay. All right. So here we are again. This next award is a four-way tie. I know you've been just sitting on your edge of the seat since I said that. So we first want to salute this comrade for committing his time and skills to ensuring that this convention has all of the pieces in place to be successful and smooth. And this comrade always jumps in where needed and is committed to conquering new challenges. He's our logistics coordinator for this convention, the March Against Genocide logistics coordinator, last year's convention logistics coordinator, and so many more events. He also was there with us in Tampa for the victory of the Uhuru 3, and this revolutionary dedication award goes to Comrade James Anala.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure you put the chairs away when we're done.
All right, and next we want to recognize this comrade who has played a key role in the local organizing work in Minneapolis and has been a consistent volunteer with the Black Power Blueprint. She plays an instrumental role in the Hands Off Uhuru media team, working nonstop to book interviews with the Uhuru 3 to get the voice of the African working class out into the world. And this Revolutionary Dedication Award is going to go to Becky Camo. That's for you, Becky.
All right, so that's two. Next, we want to recognize this comrade for her years-long commitment to African liberation. She is an anti-colonial fighter and a remarkable leader with so much revolutionary experience that has been passed along down the line, and I'm so grateful to know this comrade. She plays a key role in the NTU Volunteer Committee under the leadership of Deputy Chair Onizine Shatella. This Revolutionary Dedication Award goes to Raya Fogarty. All right, so that's three. Lastly, we want to salute this comrade for her stance of solidarity with African self-determination and her steadfast support of the Black Power Blueprint projects. She has continued to show her support to the party and has even won grants for the Black Power Blueprint. She carries out the fight for justice for African people in North St. Louis, and especially those locked up in the colonial prison system, and has recently joined the work to build the African Independence Workforce Program under the leadership of Deputy Chair. This comrade is determined and passionate. We would like to present Angelica Mueller-Rowry with the Revolutionary Dedication Award.
My husband died in prison, so and I've been through 10 years, with him in the prison system. So that's why I really care, particularly about this program. Because there's so many people coming out of prison and have nowhere to go. So
All right. So next, we want to welcome up our next performer, all the way from San Francisco, California, to read us two short poems, Comrade Redbeard.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. This is called No Child Left Behind. So calm and right, our world at home. In church we kneel and all condone our prayers sent by an unmanned drone. We don't care, it shan't be known how well the children might have grown. Across the seas our hate has flown to spill their blood and smash their bone. This is called Obama, Obama, and it's O-B-A-L-M-A and O-B-O-M-B-A. For the bourgeois estates, Obama castrates the sheep of await, who suffer the fate of his capitalist state that empties their plate, raises their rate, and prefers to berate the children and sheep of await, whose children await with no real debate a crusade of hate that Obama orchestrates through military gates. Condemned to be slaughtered, committing that slaughter, an orgy of slaughters, the sons and the daughters return to the states, embalmed in their crates. While ever the shepherd, Obama orates for the sheep of 08.
All right. Okay. Thank you, comrade. So this next group of comrades are new to Uhuru, but have heard the call to get organized under the leadership of the African working class. And these comrades have boldly stepped up as new members, diving right into the work of organizing and doing outreach. And these comrades have played a huge role in our outreach strategy for this convention, and their dedication strengthens the movement and brings more forces into the struggle for African liberation. So I want to call up and salute Comrade Blaze Bailey, organizing in San Diego. Just want to salute this comrade for jumping into doing outreach across San Diego and leading others to participate in postering and flyering. You're a comrade. I'm really glad you're here. All right, so this next comrade that we want to salute, it comes all the way from Newcastle, PA. This comrade has also done work with the InfoEd team and social media under the leadership of Comrade Virginia and Comrade Dylan. And I want to call up and salute Comrade Frank Lang. Hurrah, Frank! So, organizing in Portland, Oregon, and whose posters won a radio show that Comrade Wendy was on, I want to salute Mavia Burke. Hurrah, Mavia! Woo! She's not here, but we'll send her a award. See you, Mavia. All right, and this comrade came all the way to Tampa to stand with the Uhuru 3 and has been organizing in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and is here in St. Louis with us tonight, Comrade Ruth Van Antwerp. Ruth! Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So this next comrade has joined the ranks of comrades in the Puget Sound area in Washington State, attending the Workers' Strike Back Conference in Seattle with Sandy, Peter, and Janet, and doing outreach for this convention. Comrade Rainey Newman.
Let's bring you, Rainey.
All right, next we came all the way to Tampa for the Uhuru 3 victory, holding it down in Philadelphia, Comrade Frank Fortino.
Frank. All right.
And Also new to the work, who has been postering in her community and working with other local organizations to forward the work of the African People's Socialist Party, Comrade Jackie Deveneaux in Portland, Maine.
Jackie!
All right, and this comrade has been doing outreach with us here in St. Louis, jumping in to do drops and to poster, and is a supporter of the Uhuru Bakery and Cafe, Owen Wilkerson. All right, and last but certainly not least, working with Comrade Jamie and Blaze Mara in St. Pete with on-the-ground outreach and also winning organizations like Tampa Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression and Ocala for Justice in Palestine to participate in USM campaigns under the leadership of the party, Comrade Casey Mills.
All right, and I really want to salute this comrade who is also a newer USM member, but feels like he's been around for a long time. He jumps into all of our outreach, helping on tables, helping with drops, and is a dear friend of mine, Comrade James Rauschendorfer. We can go to the gym together. You gotta run up a little quicker and show up. Thank you. And these two comrades are not able to be here, but I know they would really appreciate these. One is Comrade Jessica Little. She actually met us through Reparations for Slavery, which is Lottie Lee Dula's organization. She posted this convention on her newsletter, and Jessica came to some of our meetings, and we sent her some outreach things, and she did some outreach. I don't remember where she's located.
Detroit.
In Detroit. She's in Detroit. So we have an award we'll send to Jessica. And then also this comrade in the San Francisco Bay Area, we have photos of him hanging up posters. He's around for the long haul. Comrade Nathan Fritter. All right. Let's see. This is you, Sarah. Oh, no, wait. Never mind. Just kidding. All right. So now I want to call up our next spoken word performer to read us two original poems, Comrade Kara Luck.
Uhuru, I've been up here way too much, but I'm gonna go at it again. This poem's untitled. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Sorry, Charlie, I stole your line. It's true, you know, the world's on fire, based on a social system of oppression and ire. How can we cope? How can we survive? There is a hope involving African lives. Most oppressed group on both continent and colonies under a colonial capitalist loop, 600 years of horrific histories. Yet the answer to this madness is investing in a new system with zero oppression, no less, built on African wisdom. African internationalism is the solution. To build freedom for all is the way, a revolutionary socialist organization planned and practiced every day. A social system that values humanity, does not live under profit and greed, is the ultimate self-determined victory that the African working class must lead. This next one is called Uhuru ABC. African ardor awaits, black power at the gates. Comrades converge as mates, dressed berets determine fates. Earnestly in their resistance, fiercely organized consistence, glowing African persistence, hearkening chairman's insistence. Independent African economy, justice is freedom to embody. Kindred comrades in harmony, love of African autonomy. Motivated in an anti-colonial stance, no hope in this colonial capitalist dance. Only African working class can enhance, power dual and contending for chance. Quality and quantity, 1 billion strong, Revolution is the key to a lifelong. Socialist communist world taking on. Total freedom for all is our song.
Wow.
Uhuru in the hearts and minds. Victory is ours for the new times. We are winning, in unison we chime. X and as X an example, the inspiration we find. Young and old comrades together rejoice. Zen and African internationalism we voice.
All right, you guys, we're winding it down. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This has been so much fun. This next award goes to a comrade who has been involved in the anti-colonial struggle for over a decade. I know so many of us look up to him. He demonstrates perseverance, strength, serious determination to be the best organizer he can be. He has deep unity with African internationalism and African self-determination that keeps him moving forward. He oversees local St. Pete social media posts, helps in media promotions, offers important political advice, holds work accountable on a day-to-day basis, and has become the St. Pete and Tampa regional info ed person, learning how to produce flyers. This Revolutionary Courage Award goes to Comrade Johan Bedingfield.
All right. So I want to call Chair Jesse up to give this last award with me. But first, I want to say that this next and last award is the Comrade of the Year award, and there are so many comrades who do such incredible work, and I really want to salute everybody. This one comrade in particular has been a part of the Solidarity movement for over 3 decades and has been a key force in so many of the party's campaigns and institutions over the years in the Bay Area and also in St. Pete. And when Uhuru Foods and Pies came here to St. Louis last year, this comrade took the lead in bringing local comrades into serious organization, establishing a very exemplary local organizing committee. And they have consistently provided strong leadership, organizing and facilitating local and regional meetings, spearheading outreach efforts, and building impactful Hands Off Uhuru and Days of Reparations to African People events. And most notably, this comrade has been at the forefront of one of the most successful outreach campaigns this convention, mobilizing new comrades into action and activating 22 cities internationally to participate in outreach. Her dedication, strategic leadership, and unwavering commitment are truly inspiring, and I am deeply honored to serve alongside her on the National Steering Committee.
We're going to keep you on edge for a second.
They must have skipped a page.
That should be last.
Okay.
Uhuru. So I'm very honored to co-present our Comrade of the Year award, and I just want to say that testimony to this incredible comrade has been seen all throughout this convention today. When you saw people nearly falling off the steps from crowding this stage from the Western region, when you saw all the award after award that was going to people who were out in the streets doing outreach for this convention, those were all awards that in some ways were also going to this comrade for her incredible leadership. And when I joined the Uhuru movement about 15 years ago, about a year later, I was asked to join the National Steering Committee of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, and this comrade was a member of the steering committee at that time, and was somebody I really looked to as a profound example of principled solidarity with African liberation in practice. And that continues to be true every single day to this day. So I'm very honored and humbled to present the Comrade of the Year award to Comrade Wendy Snyder!
I've been in the movement 33 years, so I've learned a few things from the organization, and it's taken me a while, I guess. And yeah, I really cherish this award, and I'm just very humbled and honored, and I love organizing. What can I say?
Wendy, we love you organizing. All right, so we have two last performances that are going to close it out for us. First, I want to invite up this very talented carpenter, Jane of all trades, creative, also my roommate and my best friend, and my comrade Hallie Murray.
Okay. Hey everyone, just want to appreciate this entire day. This whole program is really exciting. So, yes, my name is Hallie Murray. I also go by Comic Crowbar for my arts. I'm the Midwest Regional Coordinator for the African People's Solidarity Committee and the chair manager of Uhuru Planet Reparations apparel, which like half the audience is wearing, so I really appreciate that. This is a brief slideshow of some of the ways I've used my creative skills as an artist, illustrator, painter, all the things for both to raise reparations to the party and also to forward the culture of reparations and propaganda and graphic design and posters and things. So, next slide. So actually, this is my 10th convention. My first time meeting the chairman and Jesse was April 2016 as a little anarchist punk with my screen print patches that I didn't ask, I just brought them. I was like, I could just bring these and like make money for the movement. And it probably had some like anarchist circles or whatever. But anyway, this was, so screen print patches was like my thing, and now it's, you know, this design, No Justice on Turtle on Stolen Land, I made that before I was active in USM, but I've since reparated that design to Uhuru Planet, and that alone has made, you know, a lot of money just from people wearing that. So, and so the next slide, it's no surprise I got asked to chair this epic institution of Black Star Industries. This is my home in the movement. It's so exciting. We have almost 40 designs that are pro-Black power, pro-reparations, anti-colonial struggle, and we need more designers and artists. So if you resonate with this, you can talk to me after. We need volunteers. You can join the committee. And you know, just general design work is like, yeah, doing things like that. Next slide. So one of the first ways I was making resources through my art was through making journals. So, and also I'm an art teacher at a makerspace since many years. I've always worked part-time, so I've never had a ton of money, but I've always had access to art supplies and tools and just stuff. So I paid zero, I made all of these in maybe 2017. I didn't pay any money for that. They were donated to the, I'm not like stealing from children. There's just, it was like 5 buckets of fabric, paints, all these papers. So I would just hang out with these kids going bananas making art and just like sewing my little journal. So because some people might remember, some years ago, USM had an Etsy. We had a campaign called Art for Reparations, which I was really honored to chair. That has since been absorbed kind of into Uhuru Planet, but there's always potential to do more with that. We have organized, I've organized art auctions for reparations, art raffles with other artists in the movement over the years. So, yeah, next slide. Oh wait, sorry, one more thing. I just want to shout out Wendy Craig, who has for years given Uhuru Planet Inventory these beautiful journals that she handmade. She's, shout out to Wendy, retired artist on the West Coast, and about once a year she'll just send us a box of like amazing handmade journals. These are monoprint designs. I hope you can see that. And there's a lot, and all the journals on the table back there are made by Wendy Craig, so I just want to salute her and her beautiful work. Please get a journal from Wendy. Next slide. So other things, so I've been making zines for a long time. It's like a little magazine. And I have the originals that I made, and I can, like, if people want to look at these later, but you know, we're all organizers, we need a calendar, right? And I've had this vision of like a Uhuru organizer, kind of like the slingshot, which is like for anarchists, but we have our own with like revolutionary history. So and I would print them at work and make them at work and sell them for like $20. Maybe some people still have them. So yeah, these are around, and it's like action items. So these are here if you want to just look through that. Time? Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm almost done. So appeal basket. I made these many years ago as a way to put the resources back in Africa. It's just cardboard, and I made 4 of them initially, and it's like a little touch I just appreciate. So thank you for everyone who put the money back in Africa today that we made our goal through. Painted banners. I love painting banners, big murals. It's going to happen at the center. We're going to do it. I've done different reparations challenges. This was like during the Zoom COVID era, finger loop weaving, just, where and I'm sure many of people here have done things like that where you charge a fee and then that goes as reparations and then they learn the skill. So other things. Okay, so the next 2 slides are, I was honored to be alongside Ruby, one of the Uhuru 3 trial courtroom sketch artists. So we made a lot of drawings, this is just a few. The Russia got day 1, I was like, this is ridiculous. It was really fun. It was a huge honor to be illustrating in real time, like everything that's going on, not just like literal what's happening, but you can just kind of go through the next slides. Salute the Uhuru legal team, Mutaki, Adi, and Leonard Goodman, that was during their closing arguments. Chairman and Adi. This is the FBI, Kelly, I think, with Leonard, Angela, and Penny. Uhuru supporters packed the courthouse with Deputy Chair, Maureen, Timberwing. Everyone is like represented in that picture. And then for people that weren't there was a whole day where they showed USM campaigns and like banners. I'm like, I made that flyer. So it's like, yeah, it's just really sick. It was like so surreal. And then the next slide, people need to know they took a literal screenshot of the USM membership thing on the website as evidence of working for Russia. So if you're a member, you should be very proud. I was very proud to see that screenshot. Okay, I know I'm running out of time. There's a lot more on my art website there, hallieburton.com. And then just the last 2 slides are some more recent illustrations. So I made this for a Inktober challenge last year where the word was map. It's like draw something every day in October. And this is a quote by the chairman, Africa is not poor, it's being looted. And it's referencing the Berlin Conference of 1884 where the entire continent was carved up. So I'm actually selling these for $20. I sell at like markets around town. And I've sold 2 already, and that's going straight to my reparations pledge for the convention. So if you want to get some art and raise more reparations, you can get them at the table. And then sorry, that's slideshow isn't working. So this is more recent. Anyone like the show Severance? Yeah. I'm obsessed. So I've been like making drawings almost every day about the show, but this I won't nerd out about the show, but it's about colonialism because there's like the any.
Don't go there.
I don't even know how to
just watch it.
Just watch it. But I've been drawing images of the screenshots because they're so powerful in compositions, and I saw this image of like a colon, a parentheses, and another colon in the bottom of a screenshot, and I just saw it. I was like, that's the emoji of colonialism because it's like, what side of the line are you on? Are you there? And then the last slide, it just shows the duality, and these are like the colors in the show, like. The innies do all the work, they don't take home the paycheck, but their outie self gets to live the life, and they're basically stuck there forever. So, and then the outside of this is a quote by the chairman, I'll just end with that. Every white aspiration and dream, every expectation for happiness and a good life, from a successful marriage to a secure future for their children, requires drone strikes in Pakistan, police murders, mass imprisonment, in the African colonies and barrios of the U.S., and starvation and forced displacement of the oppressed peoples of the world. Uhuru chairman. So, yes, thank you. Sorry, I went over. So, I would be happy to nerd out after if you want to talk about it. Thank you. Yes.
But I just want to say one other thing that you didn't mention is that Hallie makes the Solidarity Center look so beautiful.
That's the greatest
Also, my role is building manager of the Sorry if I went
Applause for Comrade Howard. So this has been a great night. I know it's going late. We're about to go to our last song, and then we'll be closing it out. I wanted to just quickly jump up here and really quickly say one more thing about one of the recipients of the Revolutionary Courage Award, which is Comrade Johan. You know, I know I speak for many of us when I say I really wish that my revolutionary brother, Comrade Johan, was here with us in person tonight. But he is here with us in so many ways, with all the work that he did to contribute to making this convention happen. And the only reason he could not be here is because, as many people know, Johan, he deals with a lot of horrible conditions under this colonial system as someone who has cerebral palsy, who's in a wheelchair, and he's constantly coming under attack in a variety of ways. He's involved right now in a lawsuit against a wheelchair transportation company where he was, not for the first time, really brutally attacked by a driver. Years ago, something similar happened. A white nationalist driver actually put his hands on Johan, and Johan waged a legal fight to get him fired. But also the Uhuru movement stepped in under the leadership of the chairman and waged a political fight. And I remember, because I was working for Johan at the time as a caretaker, the guy at the wheelchair transport company said, "What are all these calls coming in from Africa? What is going on?" And that guy did end up getting fired, by the way. But Johan is such a brilliant and courageous comrade. And as I remember when I first met him, I went to an event at the library, and here was this guy sitting there, and great beard. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I started talking to him, and he became one of my closest friends. I think that's true for many people here. He's such a warm, just passionate fighter for the African Revolution. He loves the African People's Socialist Party. He loves the Uhuru movement. He loves the Solidarity movement. And Johan, as I remember the chairman saying at the first plenary I ever went to, he said, Johan gets out more flyers than anybody. And so he's in a wheelchair, that doesn't mean a thing to him. He is the most active. He's out on outreach tables. If anything, sometimes we got to pull him back from how many people he's pulling in, and just a really, really powerful comrade. So I love Comrade Johan. I just wanted to come up here and say that and just salute my brother, my comrade, my friend, Johan Bedingfield.
It is that time. We have reached the last performer. I would like to call up Comrade Dylan to close us out on the piano.
Let's go.
day one of the 2025 USM National Convention. Everybody pick up your trash, please, on your way out. Thank you.
Good job, Frank. Good job, Lisa.
Nice work, Glenn.
Good job, Raphael.
Yeah.